The night my sister became a vampire started like any other. We were arguing over the remote. She wanted to watch some cheesy old horror movie, and I wanted to see the game. She won, of course. She always did. Lily was like that, magnetic and stubborn, a force of nature in a 5'4" frame. I remember her laughing, her eyes sparkling in the dim light of the TV, as a Dracula knockoff hypnotized his victim. Wouldn't it be cool, she'd whispered, to live forever? To have all that power, I just rolled my eyes and threw a piece of popcorn at her. If only I'd known. The changes were subtle at first. She started sleeping all day, which wasn't too unusual for a teenager. But then she'd be wide awake all night, pacing her room like a caged animal. She stopped eating, Mom would make her favorite spaghetti, and Lily would just push the noodles around her plate, her nose wrinkled in disgust. She claimed she'd developed new allergies, that the smell of garlic made her nauseous. I thought she was being dramatic. She'd always been a bit of a drama queen. Then came the physical stuff. Her skin grew paler, almost translucent, and her eyes, once a warm hazel, seemed to darken, holding a strange intensity I'd never seen before. She was always cold to the touch. One day, I hugged her, and it was like hugging a marble statue. She was stronger, too. I saw her open a stuck jar of pickles with one hand, a jar that had defeated my dad earlier that day. She just smiled a tight, thin-lipped smile and said she'd been working out. I didn't believe her, but what was I supposed to say? The real turning point was when she started going out at night, not to parties, not to meet friends. She would just disappear into the darkness and return just before dawn, looking satisfied, but also haunted. I tried to follow her once. I snuck out after her, my heart pounding in my chest. I trailed her to the old, abandoned part of the city, the part with the crumbling warehouses and overgrown lots. She moved with a speed and grace that was inhuman. I lost her in the shadows. When I got back, she was sitting on my bed, waiting. Her eyes weren't just dark anymore. They were glowing with an eerie red light. "Don't ever do that again," she hissed, and the voice that came out wasn't my sister's. It was cold, ancient, and full of menace. I confronted her the next day. I cornered her in her room, the curtains drawn tight against the afternoon sun. "What's happening to you, Lily?" I demanded. For a moment, the mask slipped. I saw my sister again, her eyes filled with fear and tears. "I can't stop it," she whispered. "He found me. He said I was special." She told me about a man she'd met online, someone who promised her a world beyond our boring suburban life. He called himself the Night Herald. He groomed her, flattered her, promised her power and eternity. She thought it was a game, an elaborate role play, until he showed up in our town. Until he offered her the gift, she showed me the bite marks on her neck, hidden beneath a scarf. 2 small, perfect punctures, already healed into pale scars. She said the thirst was overwhelming. She'd been feeding on stray animals, but it wasn't enough. The hunger was growing, and she was terrified of what she might do next. I wanted to scream, to call the police, to tell our parents. But what would I say? My sister is a vampire. They'd think I was crazy. They'd send me away, and Lily would be left alone with this monster. So I tried to help her my own way. I researched everything I could find online, sifting through fantasy forums and ancient folklore. I brought her bags of animal blood from the butcher shop, a disgusting task that made me gag every time. We'd huddle in her darkened room while she drank it, her eyes closed in a mixture of relief and self-loathing. "I'm a monster," she'd cry afterward. And I'd hold her and say, "No, you're not. You're my sister." But with every passing night, I saw her slipping further away. The human part of her was fading, replaced by the predator. The Night Herald didn't just leave her alone. He started visiting, appearing at her window like a specter. A tall, handsome man with eyes as black as coal. He talked to her in a language I didn't understand, his voice a mesmerizing whisper. He was teaching her, honing her new abilities. I tried to stand up to him once. I burst into her room and told him to leave her alone. He just laughed, a sound like cracking ice. He looked at me, really looked at me, and for a second, I couldn't breathe. I felt a paralyzing fear I've never known before or since. He could have ended me right there. Lily screamed at him, and he vanished. But the message was clear. I was powerless. The night I lost her for good was a week later. There was a town fair, and against my better judgment, our parents insisted we all go. Lily was a wreck. The lights, the noise, the smell of all that food and all those people. It was sensory overload for her. She was pale and trembling, her hands clenched into fists. I tried to get her to go home, but she was trying so hard to be normal for our parents. Then I saw him, the night Herald. He was standing by the Ferris wheel, watching us, watching Lily. His smile was predatory. I knew what he was planning. He was going to push her over the edge. I grabbed her arm and tried to pull her away, but it was too late. A little kid tripped and fell right in front of us, scraping his knee. The smell of blood hit the air. I saw Lily's head snap towards the sound. Her pupils dilated, and a low growl escaped her throat. The hunger was taking over. Before I could react, the night Herald was there, his hand on her shoulder. "It's time, little one," he murmured. "Embrace who you are." He looked right at me, his eyes full of triumph. And Lily, she didn't fight it. She looked back at me one last time, her eyes filled with a sad apology, and then she was gone. She and the Herald melted into the crowd, moving with an unnatural speed. I never saw my sister again. Our parents think she ran away. The police searched for months, but they found nothing. A note was left in her room, a forged letter saying she was unhappy and needed to find herself. I know he made her write it. Sometimes, late at night, I think I see a shadow flit past my window, a shape that moves too fast to be human. I leave the light on, just in case there's still a part of my sister in there somewhere looking for a way back home. I couldn't stop her from becoming a vampire, but I'll never stop waiting for her. Thanks for listening to my story. If you have a story of your own, share it in the comments. And please, subscribe for more. You never know what's lurking in the shadows.